This conference will now be recorded.
Oops, my apologies.
Well, I know you got the first part work, so tell us about the first part.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the direct material. We're gonna get the estimated unit cost, and then we're gonna start with the ink, which is 2 units, $10 per unit, and that's the only material. So it's really just
So,
20.
so because we know what we're doing now, we don't have to worry about that template. We're gonna put $20 in here
Mm-hmm.
for the materials.
Yes.
Labor.
And then the labor. So it's 3 hours per book. So that means we're multiplying.
So we're multiplying. So what's our labor? That's 3 times what?
36.
36.
36. So let's see if we can get our POR now. So if we were trying to get the POR, we know that the first thing that we need is the overhead, which is $600,000, right?
Correct.
The next thing we need is what? The quantity that we're making. How many we making?
Over 50,000.
The next thing we need is our productivity rate. Here is taking us what? 3 hours, right? Takes
Yeah.
3 hours. Doesn't take 3 hours to make it.
Correct. Yeah.
So move it on down in our box because we know how to do this now, right, Buford? The total hours that they're gonna have to work is gonna be what? If they got
150,000 hours.
to make it work, think of McCaskill, 150,000. Okay. And so our POR then is gonna be what? How are we gonna get it?
You get your PRR by line 1,
Yeah.
which is 600,000 divided
Total
by, yeah, that.
Divided by what? 150. So what's 600 divided by 150 or 60 divided by 15? What is that normally?
4.
That's 4. So the POR is 4. So if we want the unit overhead cost, what's that going to be? Put in parentheses here.
That's when we take 4 and we would times it by 3, which will be 12, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we would do here, so we got the material, we got the labor, so we want the unit overhead cost. We would take the POR, which is what?
4, right?
4.
Is anybody else having trouble getting into Blackboard? Mine it's been saying all day that I have a sign-on error. So I
You
wasn't
gotta
able
Change
create
your
a cookie.
password. Change your
Yeah.
password.
I can't
Well,
even do it. The
if you
log.
can't change your password, use a different browser, because that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are
I
you,
clear my cookies and it worked.
Yeah.
It won't even
Yeah,
show
it
me the
works.
login page, is what I'm saying.
How
Use
do
a
you try your
different browser.
browser? Yeah.
Righty. Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that unit overhead cost is going to be 4 times 3, which is 12. So what's our total estimated unit cost?
68.
How much?
68.
68. So what's our selling price going to be?
204. No, wait.
So you see here, we just simply, we didn't template, we just thought about it and worked it right on the sheet. If we, on the quiz where we're trying to get the initial understanding and everything, and we go through that template. But if we're understanding what we're doing, we can just go in here and work, because you don't have time to, we got to get the whole problem done. So we don't have to, have time to go through and go get some sheets and work on that and do all that transfer. And that was just to get you, a process to basically do it. But now you should be able to, if you understand it, put it in here like this. Okay? Thank you, Miss Clifton, and supporting help.
Yes, thank y'all so much. I'm so sorry, Professor. I'm so unorganized. I got you. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get ready to make these journal entries now.
Okay.
At some point, we got to post them to the ledger. So, Dansby, you have the first 3 journal entries, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Now, did I? I'm sorry. Continue.
everybody see the journal entries, correct? Okay, so let's go down to my journal entry sheets here. What's the first journal entry?
All right, can you scroll back up to the top? Because I can't really see it. By the way, I'm doing this for the first time only because of the fact that I know we were supposed to. You told me to wait. Well, what you said was, I believe, Monday. She brings in and submit the steps or the chart, and then I do the journal entries and submit that to Crowder, and then Crowder, and so on and so on. So it was like a cycle. And to be honest, we were texting inside the group me, and we for some reason thought that perhaps maybe we start today and finish it by Friday. And that, so I'm just being fully
No, he's being
transparent. So
honest. We all thought that it was due on Friday, and we was
I
having
don't
a
know
That's
conversation
true.
why.
about it today.
Yeah, I don't know where we got that from, but we
That's
thought
true.
maybe we start today and
No, I
finish it
thought he did.
Friday.
I thought he said it was due Friday.
Yeah,
He said
so because
that,
you said we're having
because
class
I
Friday.
Okay.
So like I said,
Well,
this is I'm willing to like.
thank you all for all that chatter. Now let's get to work. So
All right.
does everybody have the problem?
I'm looking at it in the primer right now, so I'm following along with you. And in the
Primer.
primer, it's on page 290, 289. I'm sorry. In the
I think
primer.
I better be getting those primers.
Let's see.
Well, actually, stage 2 is on page 290.
All right. So what we're doing is we first of all form the corporation, issuing how much common stock?
Um,
50,000 worth. So what's that journal entry going to be? Okay, make that journal entry.
yes, we can make that journal entry. It's going to be cash and common stock, 50,000.
I gotta pull it up.
That's the easiest one, Professor. We know how to do that.
Everybody was quiet.
That's
That's
I
because we
think
was trying
people.
to adjust.
Yeah,
We paying attention.
we're trying to like pull it up and everything. That's what I'm trying to do in a way right now.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm trying to pull it up.
It kind of caught me off guard, to be honest. But
you
just a
know,
little bit.
He laughing at us. He taking us as a joke.
I know. He told us we can't take a joke earlier. Like, okay.
And then, Professor, why you got Buford instead of common stock?
I get,
Oh,
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say. we're supposed to have this problem ready, and
I know.
that's okay. That's okay. So
We can do it as a class. We're learning together.
That's true. And I do apologize for
Right.
not done.
all right, that's all right. Okay, so we got the cash in the common stock. What's the next thing we're gonna do? And what
Raw materials.
is gonna be good sometime is when we're working on problems to go ahead and print a hard copy so you got that right there.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think with raw materials. They purchase some equipment.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, equipment on note.
So what we're gonna do here. What we're gonna debit.
I believe it's 800,000, right?
What account?
No.
We're gonna do equipment and hold on, I gotta see. Let me go back and look at the journal entry. Oh, purchase 800,000 equipment on notes.
No.
So we're gonna do is that notes payable?
That's note payable.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets us started. And now we're ready for our first managerial entry. Where we're doing what? This is stage one.
Okay.
Oh, when we purchase in the ink. Okay.
And so what was that? 110,000 ink cartridges at $10. Okay.
So what's 10 times 110,000?
So is it gonna be like 1.1 million or something like that?
Yeah, it's 1.1 million.
Yeah.
1, 100. And what are we gonna credit? What are we gonna debit?
Okay, will we do supplies?
Yeah, I was about to say, because it's the ink cartridges that you're buying for the office. And so that will be under supplies, if I'm not mistaken.
Or raw materials? Which
listed.
one?
Which one you think? What does it say for stage one? What you
Let me go back and check. Let me check. I gotta pull it up. Oh my God.
We're just going back and forth.
Yes, I need to print this off like today. And you want to know something, Professor? You know, Blackboard never cleared none of the classes that you take off. So for some reason, I always hit accounting 1, and then I don't realize it until I go look and see that everything is from last semester. I'm like, okay, this is the wrong stuff.
And they used to take it off.
You know, you can take that off.
Wait, how?
So I'm gonna need to do that because I keep clicking on Boyd for accounting 1 and not 2.
Okay, so stage 1, this is your first managerial entry.
Okay.
And what did we say when we purchase the raw materials? What do we do? What's the accounts? Y'all try to make it hard.
I'm pulling up the spreadsheet so I could so I can have a little guidance.
Raw materials, ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are we gonna credit? When you buy inventory.
Oh, accounts payable. So we do raw materials, ink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then accounts payable. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at stage 1 right now, so definitely.
I still can't find the document that we're supposed to be on. I just got into.
That's a template. Professor is looking at the template that's in the book.
Yeah, the book
But
itself.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the spreadsheet that we can go off of as like a cheat sheet.
Hmm.
Okay, Ladette, can you get in the Blackboard?
I just got in, yes.
Okay. So that being the case, then what we're going to do is for the managerial part of this, the raw materials Inc., we're going to go ahead and post that.
Okay.
So we know we post everything, but we're going to begin to post these because we'll be working with these with some of the other journal entries. So right now, in stage 1 here, we bought the raw materials. If there were other raw materials, we just have them down here.
Okay.
Now we're ready for stage 2, work in process, correct?
Correct.
We have 3 journal entries, right, Crowder? We transferred in 100,000 ink cartridges. Actual direct labor hours were 152,000. And we applied manufacturing overhead at the predetermined overhead rate. So we're in stage 2, what's our first journal entry? So all of these were
Stage
stage.
2 is the work in progress process with the raw materials. So work in process, which that's a new journal entry, right? And raw materials.
Okay, so in stage 1, we buy the raw materials. When we get to stage 2, we're getting ready to transfer those raw materials what the work in process so we can make the product.
Okay, I'm about to print all this out because
So we're going to debit work in process and credit raw materials Inc. And what's the amount going to be?
one second, let me check the primer. 100,000.
Crowder's trying to talk, by the way. It's kind of staticky, though. Or as you referred to as last class period, scratching.
So tell her to put it in the chat.
It's $100,000, Professor.
Yeah,
Right?
that's what I put in
Transferred
as well.
$100,000 ink into your work in process. Yes, $100,000.
Check to see what the chat person said.
She said
Oh,
100,000.
It's a meal right.
Thank you, Jenkins.
You know what? I think
what
she
did he
forgot.
say?
He said it's $1 million.
And most times,
Why is it $1 million? Can you explain that?
You got to multiply by 10.
your calculator
Oh
doesn't do it.
yeah, like 10. Okay. Like how we got the first.
You gotta multiply by 10. So now we're gonna go on and post this. So now we have a credit in raw materials for $1 million.
Okay.
And we have a debit to work in process for $1 million. Okay, so okay, what's our next journal entry we doing? We are paying the workers.
The
Yo,
labor,
hey,
152,000.
professor, for raw materials and the debit, you mistyped it.
So for the next one, we're doing work in process in cash.
What did I mistype?
Raw materials debit, you mistyped.
No, I thought we was crediting it. It's supposed to be credit, right?
When we buy the raw materials, we debit them.
Right.
For them in the work in process, we credit it and move them over to work in process. So they're no longer here in the warehouse. Got it? Okay. See that, McCaskill?
Yeah, I'm looking. I was just talking about raw materials for debit. It say like 1 billion, 1 million. You know what I'm saying? You see what it say?
We bought 1,100,000. We always gonna
But
buy
that's
more we need of raw materials so the process won't get bogged down if we go over on the raw materials. So we bought 1,000,001. We transfer 1,000,000 to work in process, but if you don't have extras, if you run out, then the whole process stops. So a company's not going to buy just what they need. Got it? Think about it.
got it.
Okay. Then the labor we said was how much?
In total, wouldn't it be like 1,520,000? Because you gotta multiply the per hour times the amount of people, right? Let me see. Yeah, 152,000. The labor rate was $10 an hour.
Mm-hmm. So that should be 1,520,000. That's correct.
Right. Okay.
So what we're going to debit?
$1,520,000, right?
What account?
Accounts payable, right? Or no? I don't like your facial expression right now.
So this is still stage 2, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Stage
work in
2.
process and cash.
Yeah, I think all y'all better make copies of that spreadsheet or something.
Yeah, I'm just, that's what I'm gonna do, because then you can memorize it just by when you keep looking, keep doing the work.
Yeah, because I'm literally trying to like follow along while also trying to like
I'm
I'm
going back and
multitask.
forth.
Right.
That's what I'm doing too. I'm flipping back and forth from the template to this and looking.
And when it gets quiet, I'm like, oh, like let me say something. Yeah.
So the workers want cash, so it's debit work in process and credit cash.
Okay.
So go ahead and set 520 in here. So we're just doing the these manufacturing accounts right now. We'll get back to all of them eventually, but for now we're just doing the manufacturing accounts in terms of our posting. What comes next?
This one, I believe it's
Sir.
gonna be a 3 for work in process, manufacturing overhead, or just 2. And then you have labor hour times POR.
So you're saying this is going to be work in process.
Mm-hmm.
And what we crediting?
Manufacturing overhead.
MOH, manufacturing overhead. We're still in what stage?
2.
2. So when we're in stage 2, it should be pretty easy to remember that you got 3 debits to work in process. Can we remember that?
We can remember that.
Okay, good. Don't even have to check the sheet. It's always 3 debits to work in process. So let's get this amount. So what's our amount going to be?
Predetermined
We
order.
so we're doing labor rate, which was $10
Right.
times the POR. And if we go back, what was our POR? Was it 4?
Our POR was 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're going to
So we're
multiply
gonna do 10 times 4, or
predetermined overhead rate times actual labor hours.
Oh,
oh, 40?
okay. So the
Predetermined,
actual labor hours was 152,000.
correct.
So
Okay,
we would
okay,
do
that's
the right. So it'll be 4 times the 152,000.
which is 608,000.
608,000.
See, teamwork. We got it.
yeah. He quick with the math too.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It must be a finance major or accounting major. I don't know.
Now I'm a political science major holding it down.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Look, he just made me feel bad as a finance major.
You might be in the wrong major, McCaskill. You might need to be minoring in political science and majoring in.
An accountant or finance. He needs to come on to this team.
So we're going to go ahead and post that. 608. We got 608 here. And here's our manufacturing overhead account here. That's going to have a credit of 608 because we are estimating how much the overhead is. Get this strike out. My strike through will be appropriate eventually. Okay. So it looks like we have finished stage 1 where we bought the raw materials, and stage 2 where we made the item. Now we're ready for stage 3 with Ms. Buford.
All righty.
So Ms. Buford, how many books were we supposed to make?
It say 40,000.
How many books were we supposed to make?
Oh, 50,000.
Mm-hmm. So we started in here planning to make 50,000 books. But we only ended up making 40,000. And so going in the finished goods is going to be 40,000 books. These are all quantities up here. And so these are dollars down here, of course. So how much you going to transfer out?
So with the finished goods, you just do 10,000 or what?
Say that again?
I don't know. So how about I just know? Because now I'm trying to figure out, like, I see with the work in progress, but when with stage 3, you're gonna do finished good and work in progress. So yeah, you could just tell me before I guess something wrong.
So we had 50,000 books that we were supposed to make. We only made 40,000. So the journal entry says that record transfer 40,000 units with raw materials for 40,000 books and all of the labor and overhead. So what it's telling you to do to make a journal entry where only 40% of the raw materials, this top cost, is going to be transferred out, but all of the labor, all the overhead, because these people have been paid and the overhead's been incurred. So the fact that you didn't make enough books doesn't matter. But the paper, or was it ink? Was it ink or paper? Ink is still there. Yes, ink cartridge. So you didn't use those ink cartridges. They are still there. So 40,000 over 50 gives us 80%. So we're only going to transfer out 800,000 of the ink cartridges because we only finish 80% of the books. The others will be made the next period. But it says we're going to transfer out all of those, the labor, because those folks have gotten their money and gone, and all of the related overhead. So we transfer all of these costs out, but only a part of the raw materials. So we add these up. How much is that being transferred out? We add these three numbers. Just add 820 and 608 and put 3 zeros. How much?
Yeah, 2,928,000.
2,928,000.
Yeah.
And how much were our debits?
I mean, I'm not the finance guy, so I gotta do that one.
Okay. 8, 2, 6, 2. Oh wait, I think I done did that math right.
3 million, right? 3,128,000.
Yes.
That's right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at the balance in raw materials now, how much we got left in raw materials at this point? $100,000 possibly.
Yeah, about that.
Okay. How do we only have a? Oh, because we just subtracted. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
How much we got left in work in process now?
Yep.
Hey, Professor, for debits, it still says it's still one extra zero up there for debits on raw materials.
Oh, I see.
Oh, that's what yeah, okay.
We got it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for persisting.
For sure, I just had to wait on my moment.
As we get into later weeks, you all will be having to screen yourself. So I have you all doing these calculations. Okay. So let's see where we are now. Sale of finished goods, and we selling 30,000 books. But Buford, what's our action unit cost of the books in the first place?
100,000. What we had left. Go back down to the chart. I need to make sure. No, 200,000. Right? No.
In finished goods now, I ask you for the unit cost, what's the unit cost of these items that are in finished goods?
We don't have nothing in finished goods yet. What's the unit cost, Professor? I don't know.
Did we not? We didn't make your journal entry.
Mm-mm.
Let's make your journal entry where we're
So
going
the
to
finished goods, right, and work in progress. Process.
debit
I don't know why I keep saying progress.
goods and credit the work in process. What did we come up with?
So what number are we
Two,
using? Is it
what you trying, that's what you calculated. So 2928.
okay? And the nerve, Professor, you gave me this one. Mm-mm-mm. The easy one. No. I mean, it's not that bad now that you're going over it, but I would have been lost.
Okay, so we now have in finished goods 2,928,000 in costs. We'll come back to it. So Tenarian, how many you gonna sell?
30,000.
We're selling how many?
30,000.
I sell them 30,000. What price you gonna sell them at?
The unit cost.
You gonna sell them at cost. So you gonna run a company and you gonna sell things at cost.
Oh, I said them at the selling price, right?
Yeah,
This-
selling price would be more. And what is the selling price? So we're gonna go up here in our chart, and the selling price is what?
204.
204. So we're saying we'll assume we got cash for them. So we're gonna debit cash,
In credit sale,
credit sales for how much?
6,120,000.
Take your word for it. 6,120,000. Okay, so now generic, whenever we sell inventory, we know what also.
Cost of goods sold.
We need to debit cost of goods sold. And credit what?
Inventory.
So we're gonna credit that finished goods inventory now, because this is why we're in business. We didn't make them to keep them in inventory. We made them to sell. Okay, so what's our cost gonna be here, Janarian?
I don't know.
How did we get 6 million? How did we get the first one, the first journal entry?
Selling price
How
is
did we get
204.
that number?
Selling
So
price is 204.
Mm-hmm.
And how many did we sell?
30,000.
30,000.
30,000. We multiply 30 times 204 and add 3 zeros. Does that get us to 6,120,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so the books were supposed to cost us 68, right, Jenkins?
Yes. Yeah.
But we can't go with what they were supposed to cost us. We got to go to the actual cost.
So the
We have 2,928,000 in costs for 40,000 units. So what is our unit cost going to be?
$73.2.
I'll take your word for it. So 73.2. So if it's what we're going to do with the 73.2?
Multiply that by what, the 30,000 to get your cost of goods sold.
Correct. So we multiplying the 30,000. Put this in parentheses here. We said this was 73.2. So our actual cost ended up being a little different than what we had planned. That can happen. So what's our total cost of goods sold?
2 million.
What?
You got it. 2,196,000.
2,196,000.
Are we a server here? Wait.
Okay.
Okay, I got one question, Professor. How did we
Yes.
get the number 73? How did we get that again?
We went into this account
Mm-hmm.
and we had 2,928,000
Okay.
for 40,000 units. So we divided 40 into 2,928,000.
And then we got that number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So we've sold 30,000 now. And so we said that would be 2,196,000. So how much we got left in finished goods inventory now?
It's just 732,000.
Okay. Okay. What's the next thing we got to deal with?
The overhead.
So it says the actual overhead is 160 for depreciation and 450,000 for other costs. So our total overhead is what?
610. I mean, yeah.
And what we're going to do here is we're going to credit accumulate depreciation with 160. And cash for 450. for the accumulated appreciation, that's a non-cash item. Then we're going to credit cash. And now we're going to post to manufacturing overhead, the actual overhead, which is $610,000. So way back in stage one, we estimated the overhead to be 608. It actually comes out to be 610. So we underapplied our overhead, right?
Yeah.
$2,000. So we needed $2,000 more cost. And so we're going to make a journal entry debit COGS, because we need to put 2,000 more in costs in there. We're going to credit manufacturing overhead for this 2,000. And we're going to go ahead and post this entry. So when we post it, we have another 2,000 credit in here. And so that closes this estimated account out. We need a $2,000 debit here. And what else do we need in this account?
The cost of goods sold.
Which is what? $2,196,000. Any questions? So what do we have left to do? We almost finished now. We got selling expenses, administrative expenses, and dividends. Almost finished. So what's our selling expenses gonna be? And we're just gonna debit selling expense and credit cash.
And this is under stage 5, Professor?
Yeah,
Or
because
we
this
still
is
under?
stage 2, then this is stage 3, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Then we're in stage 4. So all this occurs in stage 4.
And
So
then
now,
this is stage 5.
right. So now we're in
Okay.
stage 5,
Yeah, this should be stage 5. Yeah.
the easy stage. So it says that selling expenses were 20% of sales. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna go to sales, 6,120,000. We're gonna take 20% of that number. So we take 20% of 6,120,000. How much would that be? Was that 12,240? 1,240,000?
What's the percentage? About
I got
20%, you said?
I got 1,224,000.
That was
Wait a minute now. 1 million what?
I said 1,224,000.
224,000, I believe.
All right. 1 million. And then the administrative expenses were what? $1 million. And then we have some dividends. $50,000. Any questions? Any questions? So what's the next thing we need to do?
So now we're gonna post them.
We got everything posted we
Oh
need.
yeah, we do got everything. So now we can make our statements.
Mm-hmm. So we got to do a cost of goods sold, cost of goods manufactured, cost of goods sold, and income statement. Oh, so we're back to Buford. So let's look at the statement. What do you see on the statement, Buford?
The direct materials. You want me to read what's on the statement?
Well, if you look at
Oh, like the beginning, the ad person, the ad, and then the list and the end.
that we always see direct materials, direct labor, and the manufacturing overhead. So whenever we're dealing with costs, we always see those three things. Direct materials, direct labor, applied manufacturing overhead. So our beginning raw materials inventory was 0, correct? And how much did we purchase of raw materials? Way long time ago.
Yeah, I gotta go back and look.
1,100,000. Look at your T
Mhm.
accounts. Does everybody, so you should have posted, does everybody have this in their T accounts? So all we're doing is working now from the T accounts to get these statements done. So 1,100,000 was what was bought. The ending raw materials was, we had it in here at 100,000. So the raw materials used in production would be $1 million. Now we need direct labor and applied manufacturing overhead. We go to our work in process T account, 1,520,000 and 608,000. So 1,520,000 and 600,000. So our total manufacturing cost, and we had it over here, was what? 3,128,000. So we're just flipping up that to those T accounts. And getting the cost out, okay? Then the ending balance was 200,000. Now we didn't have a beginning work in process inventory in this problem, but we did have an ending. So the cost of goods manufactured would be what? We just subtract 200 from this number here, we get 2 million.
What did we do to get that? We
We subtract
subtracted
200,000 from that number.
from the total manufacturing cost. Okay.
And this is just a repeat thing here. And so, but we're in class, I have it on the board, but I would go and say, okay, where else have you seen this 2,928,000? And we would say we saw the 2,928,000 here. And we see it again here. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you, if anything? Does it tell you anything?
Mm.
Well, you have to look at it, so go back and look at it. Okay, so we have this cost of goods sold statement done now. Zero beginning. Then we're gonna come up here.
Goods. Okay. Zero add cost of goods manufactured. So I was gonna come to your office hours to ask for help with this because I wasn't necessarily sure what I was looking at the last time. But am I just for most of those I would just be going to the numbers that are already punched in and placing them.
Correct. The numbers that are in the T account just have to have the right numbers in the T account. So this is here. Then it's gonna ask you for the ending finished goods. So we look at our T account, ending finished goods 732. So our unadjusted cost of goods sold is 2,928 less than 732. So that's just 2,196. 2,196. We add the underapplied or deduct the overapplied. We underapplied it by 2,000. That is, we estimated 608. It should have been 610. So we're gonna get to 2,000. And add it. So the adjusted cost of goods sold be what? 2,198,000.
Yes, sir. That's it.
And I'm gonna let y'all do the income statement.
Yes.
Wait, can you go back up, Professor? Go all the way back up to go up to the part where I was supposed to do.
What you supposed to do?
Yeah. Oh, that's just the same thing. Never mind. I was trying to figure out what was going on with those blank numbers, but it's the same thing. Never mind.
Got to have two of those there. Just left it. Think y'all can do an income statement, Mr. Jenkins?
Yeah.
What's the top number gonna be on the income statement?
Yeah.
Sales
6 million.
120. 6 million. Cost of goods sold
2,198,000 or 190.
198. So our gross margin is how much?
$3,922,000.
Then we need to pick up some selling expenses and administrative expenses. And they were what? 1,001,224. So total expenses would be what? 2 million. And what's our net income?
$1,698,000.
And we're done.
I'm still here. I
That
just
wasn't that
got on
bad.
from
It's
my
just
phone.
tedious. Just tedious.
What? Say what?
So that wasn't bad. It's just tedious. You just got to make sure you got everything in your T accounts right. Do you got another example on a template like this?
Well, yeah.
Okay. I want to practice.
Okay. So what I
Hey,
wanted y'all,
10-7 is like this one, Professor. I printed that one out earlier.
what I want you to do was we're gonna break it down on Monday to look at some small areas. That's where the multiple choice questions come in. So we're just looking at it in a shortened format. And then on page 310 of the primer, that's problem 10-7. So you all work 10-7. Be quiet on, we get on that Tuesday. With the ideas for the class to finish 10-7 on Tuesday.
On Monday?
Monday, yeah. Then on Wednesday,
Yeah, I wasn't sure if anyone else could tell them.
on Wednesday, each team will work one of these by themselves. So on Tuesday,
Monday
Monday,
we're doing 10. Okay.
Monday, we're going to do those multiple choice and just kind of slow it down, looking at certain aspects of it. Then we're going to go to 10-7 and pull it back together. Then on next Wednesday, each team will work one of these by themselves. That's next Wednesday.
Okay.
The following Tuesday,
Monday.
I think he's doing it on purpose at this point.
Professor want us to be a Tuesday, Thursday class so bad.
the following Monday, you have your study problem to work on. So each team has a study problem. Then the following Wednesday, you have your midterm.
Can
Okay.
you guys please add me to the group me?
Yes, I'll add you back. I saw that.
Thank you.
Or any questions? Because I was looking at it, and I guess we kind of on scale in terms of where we are, but I guess there's no regular spring break this year. You all knew that, right?
Yeah, we found
that's
out.
why our winter break was so long.
I wasn't in school last semester, so I didn't get that break. Can I get that break for this semester?
It was like 9 weeks. We ended the week of Thanksgiving.
Like I saw, which was highly disrespectful, but we have, I believe, from March the 2nd all the way up to like April 2nd to April 4th, which ironically 2 of those days are the weekend.
Oh yeah,
But
and then
yeah,
it's
she
Good
felt the need to put
Friday.
that.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's Easter.
Greatest religious holiday it is. So got that off.
Yeah, that's Easter. That's literally one day, which is Friday. If you had a Friday class.
Which is none
Yeah.
of Friday class.
Thursday too. You don't get Thursday.
Yeah, it's Thursday, Friday that they put Thursday to Sunday we're off. But we don't go to school on the weekend anyway. And then Friday is Easter, so then it's just Thursday. They just try to make
Yeah,
us
they
feel a little
really
bit
cheated us.
better.
They
But
cheated us.
that's crazy. Like we would
Well,
not
Like
know
we got
this.
cheated.
The thing was, they didn't want a long week and people going all over the place and coming back. We just didn't know whether we'd have face-to-face classes or not. So, but then
Well, you know what? I still feel like we got cheated because last semester they crammed us to 13 weeks. That was a lot of information. That was 3 weeks we lost. So then they give us the 3 weeks extra to have off for the break, but then we don't get a spring break. No one asked the students about this. We could have had a 16 semester last semester. It could have been 16 weeks, and we could have still had our little spring break.
Finishing a week early. I think the last day of classes is the end of April.
I thought it was
Really?
in May.
No, it's in May.
I'm pretty sure it's in May, yeah, because I looked at that.
Yeah,
Now
it's,
that
it's a
would be
regular
nice if
16
it
weeks.
was. Yeah. So I agree with you on that, Buford. They screwed us
Hmm.
because I mean they didn't take into consideration the mental health. I mean people have like 3, 4 classes, so it's a
Yeah,
lot of
5. I have
stress.
5 classes.
Yeah, see, stress, tiredness, and then there's some professors that don't consider other people's classes. What'd you
Weren't y'all
say?
off last week?
Did you
We
say
didn't
were
ask
we
for
off
that.
last week?
That was not a vacation. Some of us was cold. We didn't have water. We didn't have
Oh,
power.
he's
That
talking
is
about
not a
that. That's
vacation. Oh,
crazy. That
that
is
that is so disrespectful.
that wasn't even like considered off. Like you have to
That was
survive for your
so,
life.
yes,
Like
that was a
you were
survival
still
mode.
working.